And a shakeup on the ground in Minnesota. President Trump is deploying Border Czar Tom Homan there, while Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino is set to leave. The president posting in part this: "I am sending Tom Homan to Minnesota tonight. He has not been involved in that area, but knows and likes many of the people there. Tom is tough but fair and will report directly to me." And joining us now, DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. Thanks for being here. So I understand Secretary Noem met with the president last night. And the president has signaled he wants a significant pivot in Minneapolis. How is the secretary prepared to help him fully make that pivot?
Yeah, absolutely, Dana. And I think the president and secretary, they've had at-length discussions. I can't get into those specifics, but Secretary Noem will continue to oversee, of course, the Department of Homeland Security, and she's very happy that Tom Homan, who is a great asset to the president, has a great depth of experience and insight, that he will be overseeing Minneapolis. Secretary Noem has also been overseeing FEMA. She's been living there for 3 days during this storm, as well as U.S. Coast Guard, TSA, Secret Service. So her portfolio is really huge, and she'll continue with CBP and ICE. We've arrested and deported over 700,000 criminal illegal aliens.
Yes, I want to get to that.
2.1 million self-deportations, and she'll continue with that work.
Okay, I do want to play one thing that happened on Saturday. This is at FEMA at a press conference there. Watch.
The White House has labeled the man who was killed in Minnesota as a domestic terrorist. Is that something you agree with? And have you seen any evidence to back up that claim?
When you perpetuate violence against a government because of ideological reasons and for reasons to resist and perpetuate violence, that is the definition of domestic terrorism. This individual who came with weapons and ammunition to stop a law enforcement operation of federal law enforcement officers committed an act of domestic terrorism. That's the facts.
Tricia, is the department and the secretary pulling back that label of domestic terrorist from the Alex Preddy situation?
Dana, in this situation, we have seen on the ground in Minneapolis a highly coordinated campaign of violence against our law enforcement. Your viewers have seen the images. And in this case, we saw an individual who he was armed. He got into a physical altercation with law enforcement. He was in the course of obstructing a federal operation, which is a federal crime. The Department of Homeland Security, we work every day to make sure we're giving the American people swift, accurate information, and so we'll continue to do that as facts are emerging, as things are evolving.
Then are you standing by calling him a domestic terrorist?
Well, we'll let this investigation that Homeland Security investigators are leading, the FBI is supporting, and CBP is doing a separate internal investigation as well, Dana.
Okay, so I guess it stands. Then let me ask you this. Then yesterday there was questions about Bodycam video during that incident, and have you, I know it's only been about 12 hours since that briefing, but do you have any updated information on whether the department will release that body cam video?
I don't have that information. I have not seen the body cam footage myself. I know that there's at least 4 officers who were on the ground during that incident where they were wearing body cams. So I imagine that will be released at some point, but I don't have more information on it. But I do want to say, Dana, that this is an absolute tragedy, and I pray every morning and every night for Alex Preddy and his family. This was completely preventable, and we never want to see a loss of life. And it is a reminder that when you do obstruct lawful operations, especially if you're armed, it's dangerous and it can be deadly. You have the right to practice your First Amendment, of course, and your Second Amendment rights, but do so responsibly and without breaking federal law.
Thank you for that. I want to ask you about this too, because I think the American people are frustrated in terms of all the different types of information. Nobody trusts anybody, et cetera. But it does seem like that all of us should be able to agree on numbers. And last week, you told our show that there were 1,300 illegal immigrants in Minnesota jails or Minneapolis jails. So Governor Walz, Tim Walz, he writes in the Wall Street Journal today that, I'm going to quote it here for you because I want you to respond to this and we can maybe figure out what's going on with the numbers. "Some of the administration's claims are ridiculous on their face," he writes. And he says, for example, it claims that 1,360 non-U.S. citizens are in Minnesota prisons. The truth, our total state prison population is roughly 8,000 and only 207 of them are non-citizens. Is he conflating and splitting hairs at the same time of city and county jails along with state prisons. Is that how you understand it, and is that how you get to your number?
Yes, my understanding is he's being a little bit misleading here, or a lot misleading, by saying that those 1,360 criminal legal aliens are not sitting in the county and city jails, which is exactly where they are. We know that last year, under Walz's leadership, that those city and county jails released 470 criminal legal aliens. So again, what the president, what Secretary Noem have been asking for is that level of cooperation before they release a criminal legal alien onto the streets, to give us notification so that we can come and pick them up and they're not going back onto the street to re-perpetuate crimes against Americans. And secondly, when we are seeing rioters, we're seeing things spiral out of control, assaults, obstruction of law enforcement, which is federal crime, as we've mentioned before, that those state and local governments and law enforcement are allowed to answer our calls for backup so no one gets hurt.
I know that also you put out a message yesterday. We won't play it here just for time, but there was an audio threat against ICE, and that you say that there are more than 8,000, that threats against officers have gone up 8,000%. Do you believe that with President Trump taking this action by sending Tom Homan to Minneapolis, that there will be a way to calm that down so that when ICE goes to other places, this will hopefully calm down?
Yes, I mean, I think that the president's conversation with Tim Walz yesterday sounded like it was encouraging. Again, all we're asking for is that state and local cooperation so that we can go into those jails and so that we can actually have the backup of law enforcement. That would, I think, really take down the temperature, which is what we need to see in Minneapolis in particular, but all over the country, so to make sure every American is safe.
Tricia McLaughlin, you are great to come on. Thank you so much. I know that a communicator's best work is usually never seen, but you're always willing to come on, and we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.